we're gonna, well, we actually did already go ahead and do some data extraction and run a back test on this specific channel, FXTM. We've covered them here before, and we've been tracking them for, I want to say almost 3 years at this point, a little over 2.5 years. And they're interesting. They are one of those channels that aggregates signals from other places. You know, they have a lot of the send me money kind of nonsense. But one of the things that was so unusual about them was that they had extraordinarily high gains. It was kind of mind blowing. Usually, you know, during the period that we've been tracking them, on average, they would see about 100% gains uh, over the course of a year. Um, but for some, I don't know exactly what happened, but something has changed with the channel, and it is not as good as it used to be, at least from our research. And there's a few reasons why. Um, like I said, we think it's an aggregator. They have real high correlation with some of the other channels we test, where they'll share signals. 50-60% of the signals are shared with some other channel, which, and a lot of the language that they use is the same, a lot of the terminology, which leads us to believe it's probably part of a, like, an organized group. Um, but starting October 7 of last year, we noticed a big shift in several of these um, sort of affiliated channels, you know, that share signals with this, and a lot of them previously had pretty good results, and they've really started going downhill after that. Some of them shut down completely in spite of very profitable track records. It was weird, so it led us to believe maybe, you know, something happened, or but I wanted to do a couple things. One, we'll look at the backtest results, and then the other thing I want to do is kind of share with you, you know, some of the data information that we've been able to put together, especially like in the raw data sets. Um, First of all, like, we want to, this is actually from May, this is not from June, but we have been seeing this kind of thing a lot with this particular channel, uh, where they will send a signal, and the signal will have some kind of weird typo in it. Okay, so in this case, for example, so this is a sell signal on gold. They want you to open between 32.99 and 3300. Sell signal, right? Target price 33.93. So, but then the other target prices are correct, right? So a signal like this, if you ran it through a copier, depending on who the broker is, either the entire cluster of signals would get rejected, or one of these, you know, this specific signal would get rejected because there's a typo in it. And we see this frequently with this channel. There will be 5, 6, 7, 10 typos in a month, which I guess is not that big of a deal. It sort of is a big deal for us because invariably we get a lot of customers who will, if you're following, you know, if they're following a channel like this, we get a lot of complaints. Why didn't the signal trigger, whatever, you know, and they blame us for it. But yeah, so a lot of instances of this kind of thing where, I don't know, it's like a fat finger, something or other. But yeah, you can see the signals here. This is actually from May. This is not from June. We can actually take a look at the June signals if we want. View data set. So you see the signals, you'll see the edits as they come through, and so on. So the test results, this channel usually has quite a few signals. This is a pretty low in comparison to what we normally see. We'll see 300-400 signals in a month. So for this particular month, that would be about a 5% gain for the month. Remember, our test model is a $10,000 account with 0.1 size lots, so that would be about a 5% gain. We'll go ahead and look at the results. You can see pretty steady march up. You can see the the list of trades, what the direction was, if it was an edit, if it was a buy, if it was a sell. So in this case, see, we had a stop loss move to break even, and then it was stopped out, right? So, and like most channels that send orders like this, we take these as, we don't take them at market, we take it at the specified entry price. So not every trade will trigger. That's just the reality of how it goes. So, but yeah, overall not a terrible month, 5%. But like I said, over the last, well, since October of last year, we have noticed a pretty steady decline in performance for this channel. Yeah, 64% win rate. And like I said yesterday in the video where I did the comparison between the two channels, that's pretty common for a channel that produces relatively consistent profitability. So you see these channels that boast about 80% win rate. We have never found a channel that has a win rate that high. So just something to keep in mind. So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching.